Used to share a video on how I prep my fresh tomatoes. This is the season of fresh tomatoes. In case you have not bought anyone, there's still time. So these are the pepper, tatache, and chumbo that we'll be using. Okay. Then this also, I'll be adding ginger and some garlic and some onion. So these are the remaining ones. I'll be putting this in my freezer. Remember, you can also store your pepper in your freezer. Store pepper tatache in your freezer. So what I'm going to do now, this is 1 bucket of tomatoes. Yes, though I've removed some because of the coconut sauce I made this afternoon. I had to take some strong tomatoes from here. So what I'm going to do next is to remove this tomato seed. I used to remove tomato seed. Yes, whenever I'm blending my fresh tomatoes, even if it's 1 basket of tomatoes, you see all this seed, I must remove everything. I must remove everything. So I'm going to remove it like this. I don't want this video to be a long one, so I'm not going to be showing all this. I will do this off camera. But know that I removed the tomato seed. Stay tuned. Carry it. Carry it. So in this way, I'm going to remove every seed in these tomatoes. Every seed. I even do it with your hand as fast as possible. Don't need to stress yourself using knife, just like this. So I'm going to do this off camera. Stay tuned as I continue. Okay guys, I want to get my pot ready so that once I blend the tomatoes, I will just pour it directly into the pot. So I will start by adding some vegetable oil. Yeah, you may be wondering why I am adding vegetable oil. Yeah, it's very important. Before now, like over the years, when I've not learned how to do this, I used to just blend my tomatoes, put it in the pot, and just cook it. And at the end of the day, before 2 3 months, when you bring out that tomatoes from the freezer, you notice that all the juice in that tomatoes have dried up. You now be seeing water and chaff. And at the end of the day, when you use that tomato to cook, in fact, you won't like what you will see. To look as if you are using chaff to cook instead of fresh tomatoes. So that is why since I learned this my new method, it has been very helpful. I store my fresh tomatoes up to 1 year and it's always fresh. When you bring it out, you know that way you like, you know when you cook stew and store that stew in your freezer. Once there is light, that stew will always be fresh. It is the same feeling you get when you learn how to prep your tomatoes this way. It will always look fresh. Even when it stays up to 1 year, it will still look fresh and the taste will not change. So let's get started. Okay, just the same way you prep your tomatoes, you fry your tomatoes. This is what I have here. I'm going to be putting some spices. These things are the things that will make these tomatoes to look like a stew. It will keep it fresh all the time. Even if it stays up to 1 year in my freezer, these tomatoes will still look fresh. Here I have some nutmeg. Here I have thyme. I have little turmeric powder. Then I have curry powder. These are just the normal ingredients I use in making my stew. So as well, you can also use whichever ingredients you like, the ones whichever ingredients you like to use. Here I have some onion. I'm going to be frying this onion. I've added some salt. Here I have Benny chicken. I'm going to be adding one of this as my okay. I'm going to be adding here. I have my nut chicken. I'm going to be adding this. So let's start by adding our onion. Fry fry the onion and allow it to bring out its natural flavor. It's very, very important. Because after making these tomatoes, after prepping these tomatoes, you can decide to use it to cook without frying it again. That is what I do often, and it's very okay. At least the tomatoes will still have nutrients. Remember, when your onion is not properly fried, after cooking, onion will turn green. So make sure you fry the onion and allow the onion to be cooked. And you will know this when you start perceiving that sweet flavor of onion. Oh my, it has started coming out gradually. So at this point, I'm going to be adding my other spices. You see, I'm just going to put everything together. Okay, let me start by adding the curry powder. I like the aroma curry powder. So, to this I'll be adding my thyme, and finally the nutmeg and turmeric. Wow, my kitchen smells so good right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to remove from heat. Put it off. Yeah. So let me add my Benny chicken. We're adding my Benny chicken. We're adding 1 pack. And no chicken. So now stir very, very well. So this is the already blended tomatoes. You have to blend it to be very smooth if you are using your blender. Please, if you are using your blender, make it very smooth. Then if you are using the heavy duty grinder, you grind once. Don't allow it to be too smooth. You know, the heavy duty grinder and your blender, they are not the same. So with your blender, you grind very smooth. So I'm going to be adding it. Okay, I will have to put this in the blender so that I don't add extra water, so that your tomatoes will not be full of water. You see this one now, I'm going to add more tomatoes here. I'm going to add more and use that tomato juice to blend it. It will make me to have a very thick tomatoes. I won't have excess water in my tomatoes. I remember, like I told us earlier, look at it. Look at it. I remove all the tomato seeds. Look at it. I remember I'm adding tatashi, pepper, and shombo, just like you do when you are cooking your stew or when you want to make your jollof rice. So I'm going to continue this process now. Remember, I have removed from heat. I'm going to continue this process of blending and pouring inside the pot until I finish blending all the tomatoes. Please stay tuned. I don't want to take your time. Okay, this is the last one. I've blended. This is the last tomato. So I'm going to be adding it now. So what I need now is to cook it. Just allow it to boil. I have put on the heat. So I'm going to cook this. You don't need to stir it to like turning it, no need. Once it boils, everything will just mix together. So what I'm going to do now is I don't need to add water. I don't mind this one, I'll wash it away. So So what I'm going to do now is to allow it to cook. Just allow it to cook. And watch, maybe cook like 15 minutes. Let's see how it goes. See how our tomatoes is boiling. You can see it. It's boiling gradually. See how it's boiling, and the more it's boiling, the more it's getting thick. Look at it. If you look at the edges now, you see the tomatoes. You see how the thing is losing up from the edges. So the water now remains in the center. So I'm going to be cooking this for additional 10 minutes. Then I will transfer it. Our tomato is ready. Oh, it's ready. I was even busy. So I started getting bones. Look at it. So what I'll do now is just stir it and put in a container. So this is, you see the consistency. It's not like you are allowing the whole water to dry pata pata. See the consistency. Remember what I have here is not up to one. It's not up to one bucket of tomatoes. Yes, because I used part of it. It's no longer up to one. So guys, this is it. Look at the consistency. Look at it. So I'm going to allow this to cool down and store in my freezer. Once they down below. If you have any question, drop your question in the comment section. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.